So I noticed that no one really has a guide onto where to get all of the raid bosses slabs and sigils, so that's what I'm doing here. In this video, I'm not going to go through all of the ways, but the fastest and easiest way to get these slabs and sigils to be able to spawn in all of the raid bosses out in the game right now. I will be using glitches to make this easier, but it is completely optional. And with that being said, let's get started. We are going to be getting started with the easiest one first, that being the Celestial Sigil to spawn in the new Moon Lord boss. Alright, so first thing you want to do is come to the Sealed Realm of Terraria. If you haven't unlocked it yet, it's at coordinates -429 and -780. Now, let's go ahead and enter the dungeon. So now that we are in, the first glitch is going to be where the old one used to be up in that corner. Just call your flying pal out and head to that corner. You'll see if you try to do the old method from going left to right, it just keeps pushing you back down into the dungeon. So instead, what we want to do is just do a full 180 and fly right into the opposite corner. From here, just hop off. You'll see that you are going to be stuck. You just want to jump once and climb up until you get out. Once you're up in the glitch, you just want to make sure you stay crouched until you jump off the ledge. Once you're on the ledge, you can call your pal and fly out into the void. This glitch has two variations, so I'm going to show you how to do the second one now. Like before, just fly into the top right corner and do a full 180. Hop off your pal, just jump once and climb up. You'll see that this time we are above the black box. So just jump on top and stay crouched so you don't get stuck. And hop off the ledge like last time. From here, call your pal and just fly out.
Get over here!
So to actually do the dungeon skip, you want to position yourself to face northeast and fly forward so that we can reach the final dungeon room where the boss is all the way down there. There are two chests that you can pick up along the way if you'd like as well. Just get close to them and open them like normal. There's going to be one on each side of the wooden structure. Now keep heading northeast until you reach the final room. My Xenoloord has enough stamina to get there without stopping, but if your pal doesn't, all the structures are solid so you can stop to rest on the way there. Once you get to where I am, hop off your pal and jump on this wall like so and shimmy over to the right, and you'll face through the wall into the chest room. Now go ahead and grab the chest. You'll see that I get the Vortex Speeder, the Celestial Sigil, and the Terra Blade. Now to be able to reset the dungeon, you want to beat the boss. If you don't, the dungeon will still reset but will take longer. So go up to the barrier and hop on and start climbing straight up until you reach the top of the entryway in the boss's room. To kill this boss, the Terra Blade, the Terra Prisma Sword, or the Nightglow Lantern can easily defeat him, but I don't have any of those equipped, so I'll just use whatever I have, which is the Guided Missile Launcher. Any high level weapon or POW will work as well. And now from here, you can exit the dungeon and the dungeon reset timer will be shorter. For the regular Bellanoir slabs, I found the drop percentage in the dungeons are much lower than just going to all 3 wildlife sanctuaries. There is one to the south of the starting island, one to the north of the volcano region, and one to the east of the desert region. Now, if you don't have the entire map unlocked, what you can do is respawn to different fast travels to make this easier. Return to title and go into the world settings and turn on multiplayer. From here, just log back in. This will allow you to respawn at different fast travels. Once you're back in, either put all your items in a chest or change the settings to not drop items when you die. Click respawn in the pause menu. After you wait the 5 seconds, you will see the option to respawn in a bunch of different locations all around the map. From here, just keep respawning in the areas closest to the wildlife sanctuaries or until you have them all unlocked. I'm going to be spawning in close to the wildlife sanctuary number 3 since I want to work my way down from the top. Unfortunately, it doesn't take us all the way there, but there are plenty of close fast travels along the way in case you need to go back to base mid-travel. Once we get to the sanctuary, just follow the path I take to get all of the chests. The chests don't spawn in the same location every time between every sanctuary, but they will be in the same 3-2-1 pattern. Once it's all looted, go to the other 2 sanctuaries. I'll be going to number 1 now. Once we get to the next sanctuary, loot it just like before, 3 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, and 1 up top. It doesn't look like we're getting a whole bunch, but compared to beating 3 dungeons and not getting a single one, this is far better. But you'll see it's not always that bad. After we finish looting up all the chests, we get 4 slab fragments. That's enough to already craft 1 slab with only 1 pass through. One quick tip when you get wanted, to get rid of it, either return to title or log back in, or just fly up high. That's what I usually do so I don't waste time having to quit the title and logging back in. So that is the easiest and fastest way to farm Bellanoir slabs. Let's move on to Bellanoir, Libero, and Blasma Ryu. Now we are going to be doing dungeon skips in the Snow Mountain region. The dungeon I'm at now is at coordinates -363 and 375. Just go and enter the dungeon. Once inside, grab your flying pal and just head over to where I go. Skip over any enemies there may be. Then on the left wall, there is going to be a ledge up top. Jam yourself there with your pal. Now get off. From here, you won't be able to move, so crouch and move forward a bit, uncrouch and jump. And just like that, you're out of the map. Now bring out your flying pal again and just follow where I'm going. For future reference, the final boss will always be in the structure that looks like that. To be able to defeat the final boss, you want to go under the structure and pop up where the tree is. It will always be in the center of the structure. Make sure not to get stuck in the water or else you won't be able to go back down. Once you find it, pop your head out of the floor and use whatever method you want to attack the pals. I'm going to use the Terra Prisma Sword and the Nightglow Lantern that I got from rerunning the first dungeon skips a few times. You can also use your pal's attack if you want to, but this combo absolutely melts the health of these dungeon bosses. You can get these weapons super early on in the game. And once the boss is defeated, don't get off your pal like I did, or you can fall down into the abyss. What you want to do is stay on your pal and fly back down and shoot back up while holding sprint. When I loot the chest, you will see that I only get the Bellanoir Libero fragments and not the Blasma, but that's because the drop rate. In the next one, we will get Blasma fragments. Now, this next dungeon is at coordinates -329 and 439. Make your way into the dungeon. And just like before, follow where I go and skip over any enemies. We will be going into the second room, and once again on the left wall there will be a ledge. Just jam yourself in there and hop off your pal. You know you got it right when your head is inside the rocks, but your body isn't. Once you're in there, keep rolling forward until you face through the map. Once you do, then just jump down to the ledge where I go. If you land in the water, that's okay, just climb out. Then call your flying pal out and hop on. Since we are inside the walls, this can get a little tricky, but just keep moving around until you get it eventually. Now, like the last dungeon, we want to look for a specific structure, which is going to be behind that big one. Fly all the way to the end and you will see the boss room. Just like last time, go underneath it and pop out in the middle. Once you find the tree, you know you made it. And now, just defeat the boss however you want to. Because we are under the map, it sometimes doesn't register that we are trying to attack, so just play around with it until the boss starts taking damage. Like I said before, the Terra Prisma Sword and the Nightglow Lantern are super OP, especially at an early level. Now that the boss is dead, fly down and fly back up holding sprint to phase back into the map, and just head over to the chest to collect your fragments. As you can see, 1 Bellanoir and 1 Blasma like I promised. Now, let's move on to Xenolord and Blasma. Now we are here at the Fabric Island dungeons, and the coordinates are -881 and -1092. Let's enter the dungeon like we always do. Once we are in, follow where I go to the left side of the room all the way in the back. You want to look for a small hole in the wall that we can crawl right through. It's going to look like that. The good thing about these Faebreak dungeons is that they are all the same, so the method doesn't change. Equip your grapple gun and zip to it. If you're lucky, you'll zip right in the hole, but most of the times you have to crawl in. If you don't get it right away or fall, just go back to the ledge and try again. But once you crawl in the hole like a spider escaping my flip-flops, find an area big enough to call your pal and get on, because guess what? More flying.
Oh my god.
Now, these dungeons are a bit more elaborate and confusing. It's not as linear as the previous ones, but no problem. What to look out for is the biggest structure in the distance, like this one. You know you found it if it has a stone building attached to it in the back, like so. Once you find it, go under the structure and you will see the tree in the middle of the dungeon boss room. I'm going to skip ahead to when I get to the chest just so the video doesn't get too repetitive. Now the boss is defeated, go open up the chest. You see that I only got one Xenoloord slab, but again, it's just the luck of the drop rate. But not to worry, in the next dungeon I show, we'll get some Bellanoir slabs. Here is the next and final dungeon for today. It's at coordinates -1000 and -1032. Let's go and enter the dungeon. Just like the last dungeon, the layout is exactly the same, even the glitch is in the same spot. So come over to the top left of the room until you find the hole. I know for some people with less experience, it's a bit hard to find, especially if it's dark,
What do you mean
but
by
just
that?
keep looking and you'll find it eventually. Once you do, take out your grapple gun and grapple to it, and climb right in, and just like before, go all the way down until you have space to call out your pal. From here, fly out and go towards the biggest structure. I didn't take my own advice, so I got a bit lost, but once you make it to where I am, go under everything until you can see the boss room while looking up. Now, just like all the other dungeons before this one, take care of the boss to open up the chest room. Now go and open up your chest. You can see this time we got a Bellanoir slab along with a Xenoloord slab. So that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. I only showed a few dungeons in each area, but you can do these glitches with pretty much any dungeon in the same area. They are usually all just copied and pasted. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, have a great rest of your day, and peace out.